we are going to discuss the management part of for the unruptured ectopic pregnancy. So, what are the management options with the unruptured? It may be expectant management, medical management, and surgical management, which can be conservative or ablative. We will go for the expectant management. In this, observation of ectopic pregnancy can be done in very early cases in hope of spontaneous resolution. What are the indications? Patients should be hemodynamically stable if initial beta HCG levels are less than 1000 international unit per liter, and on monitoring it after 48 hours it is falling, then we will go for expectant management. Size of gestational sac should be less than 4 centimeter for the expectant management. Fetal heart sound absent on TVS. It means there will be no cardiac activity on the ultrasound. No evidence of bleeding or rupture on ultrasound, which should be transvaginal. Done only in case of tubal pregnancy. The patient should be counseled properly and should be in easy reach of hospital. Now, what are the medical management? Number of chemotherapeutic agents have been used either systemic or direct local under sonographic or laparoscopic guidance as medical management of ectopic pregnancy, but the drug of choice is the methotrexate. And what is the dose for the methotrexate? It is a single dose of 50 milligram per meter square body surface area, and route is the intramuscular. Other drugs which can be used: potassium chloride, prostaglandin, hyperosmolar glucose, actinomycin. Prostaglandins, in which we are go to see, it will be the PGF2 alpha. Criteria for medical management. Now, the absolute requirements: patient should be hemodynamically stable, no evidence of the acute intra-abdominal bleeding, no contraindication to treatment. Preferable requirement should be serum beta HCG should be less than 3000 international unit per liter. Size of ectopic pregnancy should be less than 4 centimeter without any fetal cardiac activity, mild or absent pain. Now, the procedure for medical management. There is a single dose regimen. Is on day one, measurement of the beta HCG, TLC, DLC, liver function test, renal function test, and after that, single dose of methotrexate, that is 50 milligram per meter square of body surface area, is given by route of intramuscular. Now, on day 4, serum beta HCG and counts repeated, and similarly on day 7, the counts are repeated and serum beta HCG level is repeated. Now, what is the monitoring? Now, the monitoring is done by measuring the serum beta HCG levels at day 4 and day 7. If decrease in beta HCG level is more than or equal to 15%, no further treatment required. Beta HCG levels are repeated weekly until they become less than 25 international unit per liter, which takes approximately 4 weeks time. But if the decrease is less than 15% from day 4 to day 7, or cardiac activity is present, then we will go for the repeat injection methotrexate, and now count this as a day 1. If after 3 doses of methotrexate beta HCG level do not decrease or cardiac activity persists, it is called as the failed medical management. Now we will go for the surgical management. Now, what are the multi-dose regimen? Measures beta HCG at TLC, DLC, liver function test, renal function test. On day 1, 3, 5, and 7, methotrexate 1 milligram per kg per day will be given. On day 2, 4, 6, and 8, leucovorin is given at a dose of 0.1 mg per kg per day. Monitoring up to 4 doses of both drugs until serum beta HCG decline by 50%, 15%. If serum beta HCG declines less than 15%, give additional dose, repeat serum beta HCG in 48 hours and compare with the previous value. After 4 doses of the methotrexate, beta HCG level do not decreases or cardiac activity present. It is known as the failed medical management. Management in case of the failed medical management, then it will be the definitive surgery. So just have some points about the methotrexate. What is the mode of action? It is a folic acid antagonist. It tightly binds to dihydrofolate reductase, blocking the reduction of dihydrofolate to tetrahydrofolate, which is active form of the folic acid. As a result, de novo purine and pyrimidine synthesis is halted, which leads to arrest DNA and RNA and protein synthesis. Methotrexate is highly effective against rapid proliferating tissue such as trophoblast, and overall ectopic tubal pregnancy resolution occurs. So basically, it arrests the DNA and RNA and protein synthesis, which causes the resolution of the pregnancy, which is ectopic because there is the more proliferating tissue and it's highly effective against the rapidly proliferating tissue. The side effects: hepatotoxicity, renal toxicity, bone marrow aplasia, ulcerative stomatitis, gastroenteritis, leukopenia, thrombocytopenia, alopecia. Indication is their sensitivity to methotrexate, intrauterine pregnancy, peptic ulcer disease, hepatic, renal, or hematological dysfunctions, active pulmonary disease, breastfeeding, evidence of tubal rupture, evidence of immunodeficiency. What are the surgical management if medical management fails? The surgical procedures can be done either laparoscopically or by microsurgical laparotomy. Laparoscopy is the preferred method. Laparotomy is indicated if there is hemodynamically unstable patient, cornual pregnancy, extensive abdominal and pelvic adhesions are there. Then we will only go for the laparotomy. Otherwise, laparoscopy is a preferred method. Now the surgical procedures. It can be conservative, that means salpingotomy, and segmental resection and anastomosis, expressing out from distal tube. And ablative is the salpingectomy. Remember, in the ruptured ectopic pregnancy, the definitive surgery is the salpingectomy, but in unruptured, we can go for the salpingotomy, and else. Now the conservative surgery. Case not fulfilling the criteria of medical therapy, cases where beta HCG levels are not decreasing despite medical therapy, persistent fetal cardiac activity. The salpingostomy, best surgery in case where the patient has not completed her family. Now the procedure done to remove a small pregnancy less than of size 2 centimeter and located at distal third of fallopian tube. A linear incision is given with cautery on anti-mesenteric border of the tube over the ectopic pregnancy. The product of conception is extruded using hydrodissection. The incision is left unstitched to heal by secondary indentation. Incomplete removal of ectopic during salpingostomy results in persistent trophoblastic or persistent ectopic in 5 to 20% cases. Salpingotomy. In salpingotomy, the procedure is same as salpingostomy, except that here the fallopian tube is closed by primary intention. The tube is closed in either one or two layer with fine suture material after hemostasis is achieved. The suture use should be interrupted in nature. Now the ablative surgery. Salpingectomy. Tubal resection may be used for both ruptured and unruptured pregnancies. To minimize the recurrence of pregnancy in the tubal stem, salpingectomy is done. Now, when we will go for the salpingectomy, the done when whole of the tube is affected, contralateral tube is normal, future fertility is not desired. Prevention of the recurrence. Incidence of subsequent intrauterine pregnancy is about 60 to 70% in women treated with conservative surgery. The incidence of subsequent ectopic pregnancy is about 10 to 20% and successful conception is about 60%. Salpingostomy does not increase risk of ectopic as compared to the salpingectomy. Conservative surgery is beneficial. Future advice: for the main concern is the risk of reoccurrence. Whenever there is amenorrhea, pregnancy test is done, and if positive, high resolution transvaginal sonography, that USG, is done to know the site of pregnancy.